Welcome back to Retro Gamers, and this is your host Killer J here, and today we're reviewing a game called Hello Neighbor. Yes. Developer Dynamic Pixels. Publisher Tiny Build. Released on PC, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PS4, iOS, Android. Genre, stealth, survival horror, mode, single player. Okay, let's get into the business at hand. Let's get to the task at hand. Okay, basically the story is your neighbor. You're kicking down a ball down the street, and basically you hear a scream from your neighbor's house because God knows what the neighbor's doing, because you don't know, because not that you don't know, but the neighbor is messed up because you hear the screaming. You can think of many things, you know. You think of this guy, he's like, I don't know, a Geppetto. Does he go chasing after you? When he chases after and grabs you, basically, you know, it's back to the house because the guy is freaking crazy and insane. And basically, you have to the story. You know, I don't know why the kid couldn't call the police in the game. I don't get that. Should have called the police. Seriously. If you hear a scream, you could have called the police or something, because basically you go into this guy's house, you break a bunch of windows. If you break a bunch of windows a bunch of times, he's going to blow up the windows, obviously. He knows what you're doing every time. You have to outsmart the neighbor, basically, because if you can't outsmart him, because this guy chases after you like shit on a stick, he just doesn't stop chasing after you. You can basically stun him and throw objects at him, but it has to take a while to get your aim going just to throw something at him. And the aiming is not that great, because R2, you pick up, you throw, it's the same button. I don't get that. It shouldn't be the same button. That's just stupid. The stupidest point there, it should not be the same button. It should be, you know, they could have used a different button to pick up and throw. There's a PS4 controller. If you're gonna don't do the controls all stupid like. That's just nonsensical. See, I try to throw something there, it won't let me throw it. You have to be really up close to throw it. It's just like, are you for real? Okay. Basically, yeah, try to throw there, nope. And basically in Act 2, after, you know, Act 2, the guy locks you up in his basement. He literally locks you in there. Like, God knows what he could have done there. Guy's friggin', he's just friggin' crazy, him, the neighbor. There you're throwing there. I was gonna throw, I don't know if I threw or not. No, I don't think so. And there's the guy chasing after you again. It's like, oh my god. Oh, don't shake your head at me, dickhead. Don't fucking shake your head. You're the one that's hiding something, not me. You're not my character in the game. You're the one that's hiding something, because you basically have someone locked in your basement and they're screaming. So, what are you trying to hide? You friggin' dickhead. Basically, yeah. And this game has puzzle elements, you know, this game's puzzle oriented to the max there, because this is basically like, you have to figure a bunch of stuff out with this game. You basically have to turn on, for Act 2 I believe, you have to turn on the water machine, the water pressure machines. You have to get the pressure valve to turn up the other machine just to get the gate open, and all that, just to escape the neighbor and go up the trampoline. And basically, yeah, that's what Act 2 is, because he basically you know, Act 2, he locked you, he bore up all his shit all around the yard to barely give you a chance to escape, because you're trying to outrun the guy, he's still on you. Basically, that one, he falls asleep quite a bit, which is, I know it's a breather, but still. Once he catches you, you know, it's back to where your last save was at. Yeah, I don't like the controls in this game. The controls are freaking crap. Controls are shite. And there he is again. Oh yeah, shake your head at me there. Look at him there, he's coming after you. Too bad I didn't throw something at him there, or should have threw something at him. Freaking looking around. Stay on your own side, you dick. In the third act, I believe, the kid is much older. Yeah. The kid is much older. Nicky is much older in this game. He basically gets evicted from his apartment. He has to go back to his old house, basically. And he has a nightmare. Yes, he has a nightmare. And all of a sudden, the neighbor's back. Yeah, the neighbor is back. And the house is even bigger than before. It's like this big-ass machine there. Big, expansive house there. And you're trying to go through it, and he's chasing after you, like crazy chasing after you. You can try to outrun him. You try to outrun the guy, he catches you. It's like a freaking sprint. Yeah. Yeah, what else can I say about the game, you know? The story, you know, the story. I explained the basic acts, you know, I try to explain it, break it down, basically. This game was like a damn puzzle, which it is a puzzle game, by the way. The survival horror elements only come when, later on, I believe, when you're trying to, there's this monster coming after you or something. But the neighbors, you know, once he catches you, it's back to where your last save was at, and you basically stack boxes on stuff just to get to places and areas and all that, just to get past it. And what else I want to find out about this game right now? I can look it up. Yeah. And yes, the neighbor, you know, he kidnaps you. Yeah, if he kidnaps you, that's definitely a creep. I'm sorry, but that guy is a creep. Kidnaps you, locks you in a basement. That's definitely some fucked up behavior. I don't care what anyone says there. That's some fucked up behavior. Locks you in a basement. That's you don't know what that guy. You don't know. He could be a Geppetto or a Pedo or whatever. He could be a. You know, it's like. Basically, in Act 1, you're trying to get to, what was it there? You're trying to get to the door and find the screen, and he comes after you, chasing after you. He's like, oh my god. And this game was an alpha game. This game was an alpha game, so. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I was talking about. The house there in the third act, it gets bigger. It's like really big. Really big. I'm pretty sure I threw something at him. I'm trying to remember if I did or not. I'm trying to throw a chair at him. That didn't work. I'm trying to remember if I threw anything at him. No, I don't remember. Might be here somewhere, just, you know, the puzzles are ridiculous. It's like you have to be like a mathematician to figure this shit out. And in this game, you try to play it, you have to look up a guide to find out what you have to do with this game, because it's not a game you can just figure it out on the fly. You basically okay, the first act you may figure it out, but the later acts it's complicated. You have to figure it out, really look it up. Watch, I threw something at him. I think I threw something at him. Watch this. Take that, you dickweed. That's what you get for kidnapping my character, you dick. Didn't like that, did you? Too bad I didn't throw a box at him. That would have ruined his day. Alright. Final verdict, let's get on to the business. Let's see. For rating for 1 through 10 scale, right now, for 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Oh, frick, I don't know what to say. I want to try I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. It's mediocre. To me, it's a mediocre game. It has some good elements, you know. Has interesting elements like, you know, the AI and that there, the care, you know, basically trying to not get caught by the neighbor and that there, try to basically evade them and do other stuff. And the story, you know, it can leave, you know. Yeah. Yeah, well. Alright, so that's it for now. I know I gave this game a 5 out of 10, that's it, so this is Killer J, and goodbye.